On August 15th, 1977, a computer in a field in Ohio printed out 6 characters that nobody could explain. 6EQJ5. That's it. That's the whole mystery. 6 characters, a string of numbers and letters that most people would glance at and forget in half a second. But the man who found it didn't forget it. He grabbed a red pen, circled it, and wrote one word next to it. Wow. And that's genuinely what we call it today. Not some official NASA designation, not a fancy Latin name. The wow signal, because that's the only honest reaction anyone's had to it in 49 years. I'm going to tell you what it is, why it still keeps astronomers up at night, and why, and I mean this seriously, we still don't have an answer. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you might be looking up at the sky a little differently. So let's set the scene. It's 1977. I wasn't even born yet. My parents were still in high school. There's no internet, no smartphones. Computers fill entire rooms. And in Delaware, Ohio, there's a radio telescope called Big Ear. It's not glamorous. It's basically a giant flat structure the size of 3 football fields, just quietly listening to the sky, day and night, looking for one specific thing, a signal from somewhere that isn't natural. This was part of a real, funded, serious scientific effort called SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Not a conspiracy theory. Actual scientists, actual telescopes, actual money, all built around one question. Are we alone? And on this particular night, the telescope was listening to a patch of sky near the constellation Sagittarius. Nothing special was expected. It was routine data collection, the kind of shift where you expect absolutely nothing to happen. And then, for 72 seconds, something happened. Here's the part that gets me every time, and I promise I'll explain the science in plain English. No jargon. I hate jargon. Radio telescopes pick up noise from space constantly. Stars make noise. Our own atmosphere makes noise. Human technology, TVs, radios, satellites, makes noise. Almost everything the telescope receives is background static, and the computer just prints out low numbers, like 1s and 2s, to represent how strong the signal is. That night, for those 72 seconds, the numbers spiked to 6, E, Q, U, J, 5. The letters represent numbers above 9. So U, for example, means 30. That's not static. That's not a satellite passing by. That's not a car radio bleeding through. That signal was 30 times stronger than the background noise of the entire universe. And it came in at almost exactly 1420 megahertz. Now why does that number matter? Because 1420 megahertz is the frequency that hydrogen atoms naturally emit when they change energy states. Hydrogen is the single most common element in the universe. It's in every star, every planet, every one of us. Scientists have long said that if any intelligent civilization out there wanted to send a signal that another civilization could recognize as artificial, this is the frequency you'd choose, because it's basically universal. It's the one number every civilization in the galaxy would already know. So think about what that means. Out of the entire spectrum of possible frequencies, this signal showed up almost exactly where you'd expect an intentional message to show up. That's the wow. Now, I need to be honest with you here, because I'm not going to sell you a UFO story. I'm a scientist. I live in New York. I have coffee at the same diner every Sunday morning. And if one of my colleagues told me a signal like this was aliens, I'd ask 100 questions before I believed it. Here's the problem. The signal never came back. Big Ear scanned that exact patch of sky again and again. Other observatories pointed their telescopes at the same coordinates for years afterward. Decades, actually. Nothing. Not a whisper. Not a fraction of the strength. Just silence. The same silence that had been there before and after those 72 seconds. In science, a single unrepeated event is almost worse than no event at all. If it happens once and never again, you can't run experiments on it. You can't verify it. You're left holding this one strange data point forever, with no way to test it further. So scientists spent decades trying to explain it away with something boring and normal. Because honestly, boring and normal is usually right. One theory, it was a passing satellite reflecting radio waves in a weird way. Ruled out. The frequencies and timing didn't line up with any known satellite of that era. Another theory, and this one actually got some traction in 2017, 2 comets, 266P/Christensen and P/2008Y2, might have been passing through that region of sky and releasing hydrogen gas, which could, theoretically, produce a signal at that exact frequency. It's a clever idea. It's also got a big hole in it. Comets move. If a comet caused the signal, the frequency should have shifted slightly as it moved, the way a car horn sounds different as it drives past you. The wow signal didn't do that. It held completely steady. So even our best, boring explanation doesn't fully fit. Which leaves us in this strange, uncomfortable spot. We have a real signal, recorded by real scientific equipment, at almost exactly the frequency you'd hope an alien civilization would use. And 49 years later, nobody can tell you with certainty what it was. I think about this sometimes on the subway home, which sounds like a weird place to think about aliens, but hear me out. 8 million people in this city, all wrapped up in their own version of important, a deadline, a text message, a coffee order. And then you remember that somewhere out there, for 72 seconds in 1977, an instrument recorded something we still can't explain, and most of the world has never even heard about it. That's the thing about space that I love and that I think gets lost. It's not just facts and numbers. It's mystery that's still open. Most of what we're taught in school feels finished, solved, textbook. This isn't. This is a genuine, unsolved question sitting quietly in an archive in Ohio. Jerry Emmon, the astronomer who wrote "Wow" on that printout, was asked about it for the rest of his life, right up until he passed away in 2023. And even he, the guy closest to it, never claimed it was aliens. He always said the same thing. It was clearly artificial looking, and we don't know what it was. That's it. That's the most honest answer science can give you right now. So here's where I land on it, and you don't have to agree with me. I don't think the wow signal proves aliens exist, but I don't think it proves they don't either. What it proves is that the universe is still capable of surprising the people whose entire job is to watch it. And if a 72-second blip from 1977 can still be unexplained in an age of satellites, AI, and telescopes that can photograph galaxies billions of light years away, that should tell you something about how much we still don't know. If this kind of mystery is the kind of thing that keeps you up thinking, hit subscribe, because this is exactly what deep space and beyond is built around. The stuff that's real, that's documented, and that science still can't fully close the book on. Drop a comment and tell me what you think that signal was. I read every single one, and honestly, some of your theories are better than the official ones. I'll see you in the next one.